Hi everyone, this is Steph with Stampin' and Scrappin' with Steph, and this is the card that I'll be showing you how to make today. It's a fun masculine card using the World of Good Specialty Designer Series paper. And if you're familiar with Stampin' Up, their specialty paper has some foil in it, and this one, I believe this one is copper. And I just have some quick, simple layers here to show you. So let's get started. You are going to need you'll need some designer series paper, and you will want to have a few different patterns to work with. If you're going to duplicate this project, like I said, this is the World of Good designer series paper. My card base is from Crumb Cake. And here are the measurements for my card layer. So we're going to start with the card base and give it a nice crease here with the bone folder. You will need a few layers, 2.5 by 4 1/4. Let's see. I believe this one is the 2 by 3 1/2, 1 3/4 by 4 1/4, 1.5 inch circle, and I punched mine using Misty Moonlight, which is one of our in colors. And then you need a strip of Whisper White. This measures 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then I punched out the banner using one of our banner punches. I think it's pick a banner. Let's see, what is this one called? Banners Pick a Punch. So it's this one and 3/4 inch. All right. So I'm changing this one just a little bit. As I was putting it together, I noticed, you know, when I was layering it, that the one in the background, which has the globe, was kind of hidden. And I thought it was really, you know, just a really pretty kind of paper. So I swapped out this front one and which is like a grid paper with the globe, and I just changed the measurements on those two. So the first one, like I said, that's the 2.5 by 4 1/2. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal to put this on. Just about centered. And then this is the compass. And if you look really close, you'll see it does show north and south, west and east. It took me a second to realize that there was letters on there, so keep that in mind when you do assemble, because you'll want to make sure, you know, that goes in the right direction. All right, and now I'm adding the one with the globe or the world on it, and that's the one that measures 1 3/4 by 4 1/2. And I'm just going to layer this one on top, up just maybe like 1/8 of an inch from the top of the card down. Super easy card to make. I chose using the stamp set Beautiful World for this one. I chose the Adventure Awaits from the Beautiful World stamp set. If you were doing this for someone's birthday, you could change the greeting and do a birthday greeting, and it'd be a great, you know, masculine type birthday card. But if you're just giving this one for somebody who likes to travel or has a new path in life that they're taking, you know, Adventure Awaits works fine. So I'm just going to stick with that one and do Adventure Awaits. And that goes a little bit more to the right of the banner. And then you have your punch. So, when I was putting this together and beginning to film this for you guys, I had realized, you know, it's quite a simple card, and I pre-cut my layers, you know, in advance. And I started putting things together, and I thought, you know, maybe there's a way we could step up this card slightly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon, and then I think I'm going to add some basic pearls to it and just add a bit more embellishment to, you know, to the card. I think the card itself is really pretty, but the fun thing with Stampin' Up! Is to, you know, step up our cards. Start simple and then move up. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm not really sure if I would give this as a masculine card necessarily right away, I'm going to add some gold twine, and this is for the from the Flowers for Every Season suite. I'm going to snip that. So you can see I just wound it several times. I'll fix the placement of it in a second, and now I'm just going to add a little, I'm going to tie it off into this bow. If it can cooperate with me. Sometimes the fingers don't grab things the way that you intend to. That's alright. And not all ribbons tie the same. Sometimes they give you a little bit of run for your money. Okay. There we go. And you just pull it as tight or as large of loops, you know, to the bow that you'd like. I probably did a little bit more excess than I need. I'm just going to trim that and get that out of the way. And then I'm going to add a dimensional, to the end of this. And this is where I'm going to stick the circle. And once you get it in place, I'm just going to fan out. And if your bow keeps moving on you, a little trick is to add a dimensional underneath that knot, and that will help keeping it from, you know, loosening if you're moving the card around a lot. All right, so that's that. And I think we're going to add one more little element onto this, and excuse me for reaching, I didn't pull it close. So now I have this faux suede trim, and what I'd like to do is I'm going to take the trim, I'm going to go down the middle of my card here, just like that. Now the trim does blend a little bit in with the paper. You could certainly do this with an Early Espresso piece of cardstock or gold or copper piece if you don't have the actual trim. Alright, so what I'm going to do is flip this over, take my tear and tape, and flip this down and add the tear and tape there. And then here, just like that. All right, and see that adds just a little bit of an element to the top. And now I'm going to take my greeting and add a few dimensionals to the back of this strip. Just like that. Now you may say pearls are a more feminine decoration. That's fine. We will make it work. So I think that goes I think that's about center. Put that there. All right. So now I'm just going to add a pearl right here. You can do more. You can do rhinestones, whatever you prefer. All right, so here's my original card. I showed you how to put it together, and then we added kind of like a step up to that and just created a little bit more of embellishment. I hope you enjoyed my projects for today. Thanks so much for stopping by. Happy stamping.